So there was like an outpouring of love as soon as I touched down. Mad people were reaching out. They want to work. They want to do events with me. They want to take meetings. I had to kick off my entrance to Legos with a welcome party. We did a pregame at the W Lounge. We turned up at Cabal, which is one of the hottest clubs in Legos. I hosted it. We had some friends pull up on our behalf. We popped so many bottles of Moet. We blew like 100K in the club, 100K Naira. But it's so much more fun when you're throwing Naira because, you know, there's way more bills to throw. So we spent a lot of bread in the club that night. I literally woke up the next day like, whoa, just blew 100K in the club last night. People were like DMing me. They're like, dollars or Naira? It was Naira, sis, okay? So many people showed up and showed out. I think that I made a very memorable impression on Legos for my first week. I'm so dead. So dead.
I said it was a fucking movie.
Girl. It was a good time, to say the very least. So in the midst of like being here for my first week, the reality of it is that Phoenix and I were living out of our suitcases in the hotel life. When we first got out here, there was a place that we found on booking.com and we were gonna move forward with locking it in. And we went to go check it out, make sure it's cool. Because out here in Nigeria, you have to do things on the ground. You can't just book things online. You really have to come see things on the ground when you're gonna stay long term because it could be a scam. It might not be what it's cracked up to be. So we went to go check out the place. It was really dope. It was in Victoria Island and we were gonna go pay for it. And one of my homegirls tells me the price for that apartment is way too much. I have a better alternative. So we're like, okay, you know, if we could pay less, we're gonna go with the one that costs less. We had her liaison the whole thing. We ended up locking in with the apartment complex that she had. You would think it would be such a smooth transition, like, you know, pay the people and then you move in. But it's so hard to transfer money from Miracc here. Once we transferred the money to her account, we were hit with a stop. We found out that her bank had a certain limit on her bank account. So she wasn't able to deposit that much money into her bank account at once. So then that was a whole process. They said, you know, in order for her to upgrade her account, it was gonna take 3 days. Next thing you know, after 3 days, we're like, oh snap, like it's time to move in. Next thing you know, the bank said she can't move the money because the name on her account doesn't match the name on her ID. So just to give you guys the backstory, here in Africa, people have really long names. And it could be the slightest word that's off and they're gonna call a red alert on the account because they're gonna say, are we sure this is the person who owns this account? You know, out here in Nigeria, you know, the stereotypes with scamming and stuff, they've made banking really, really hard out here. They're really protective about how people move money about throughout this country, whether there's restrictions on the bank account, whether there's a name that's slightly off. They need to make sure that bank transactions are, you know, safe and secure. So she has to get an affidavit to prove that that is her that owns the account. And that took a whole other process. So we were literally in and out of hotel rooms every single day because what we would do is we would just book a room and be like, oh, like tomorrow's the day that we're gonna move in. And then it wasn't the day that we moved in. And then we had to pay for another night and have the hotel staff move our bags each and every day. And it was a process. And if you're the guy that was helping us move our bags every day because we were checking in and out so often, I apologize, and I know that no tip in the world will amount for the inconvenience with all those bags that we had. It was so bad that the last day that we needed a hotel, we were like, you know what, we can't even go back to the hotel anymore. Like, we've shamed ourselves. We've put our hotel staff through too much pain.
One eternity
later. After failing miserably at moving in today, we are checking into yet another hotel. Hotel number 3, because we could have gone back to the other place, but they're probably so sick and tired of carrying our luggage, so here we are. Wait, there's no rooms for tonight?
You're fully booked?
Gotcha.
Thank you.
False alarm, we're not moving in here.
It's too good to be true.
Literally.
Eventually.
We moved into our apartment 2 weeks after we initially moved here. It was quite the process. The reception was amazing. Once we got in, we hit the ground moving ASAP. We're at beach house parties with Heineken, and we're partying up with your favorite Afrobeat stars and Nollywood stars, and everything's lit. Everything's amazing. It's like a movie. It's every reason why I moved here. Like, I can't stress it enough. Like, I've literally been out here just living my best life. Of course, there were some not so good times. I'm very aware that Nigeria is a wild place. And I knew that prior to coming out here, that by stepping foot on this land, I was gonna sacrifice some of my rights. So one night, we're out, we're eating, we have drinks, and I bump into, I'll call him Peter. So Peter gives us a ride home from the restaurant, and there was so much flooding on the roads because it's rainy season, the roads are really bad, and it is what it is. Prior to giving us a ride home, Phoenix went to go use her card at an ATM machine. The machine ends up eating her card. Phoenix was upset about that. So Peter's giving us a ride home, the roads are bad, we're literally right around the corner from our hotel, but I just didn't want to get out because it was raining and it was flooding really bad. So Phoenix is frustrated. She's still stuck on her card. She hops out of the car and just bolts to the hotel without me. And we're out in the car, literally, I'm telling you, we're only right around the corner, but it literally takes us a whole nother 20, 30 minutes to get back to the hotel because he has to take an alternative route. Phoenix is gone at this point. So 20, 30 minutes later, we're coming around another streetway. I see Phoenix in the light coming towards the car, running towards the car. Oh, are we dead ass?
Stop taking that so long.
Get to the hotel. What took you guys so long?
These motherfucking bro.
Really?
I don't know if the Henny hit too strong. This is not America. Things move way different out here. Phoenix, if you're watching this, girl, you was tripping, okay? Nigeria is way different than being back in the States. There's some similarities, but there's some things that straight up are different. The people at the very, very top are, holding on to the money, and they're really making their money off the backs of the poor, and you can see it everywhere. The roads are really bad, the roads need repairs, and because of that, it causes flooding, and people ruin their cars, and their engines go bad. And it's something that I've now thrown myself into, and it's now a part of my reality. And I want to be able to give back in whatever way possible to make my change and add my footprint on what's going on in Nigeria. Between the move-in, between the traffic jams, I'm telling you, traffic can literally change the course of your whole day. It's an accomplishment if you get 2 things done in a day. If I take 2 meetings, I have done something. There's certain superstructural things, they're still developing. And it's taking some adjusting for me. Like at a convenience level, it took me like a week to open up a bank account because the system was down for me to get my card. Everything comes at the cost of convenience. But other than that, I really love being out here. People really embrace me. People are open to my ideas. There's a really big creative culture out here. So people are really open to like collaborating and working. And it's just so cool to just participate in such a rich cultural exchange. So I love it. If I could describe Lagos, it's like Atlanta, where there's a Black Hollywood. In this case, it's Nollywood. I'm also trying to immerse myself into everything that's going on in Lagos. I'm hopping on the Okada. The Okada is a motorcycle that just zips through traffic. When there's really bad traffic, literally the only way you can really get through it is to hop on a keke, which is like a little taxi that has like 3 wheels, or to hop on the back of an Okada. Okadas are so dangerous. They literally go down the opposite direction of traffic. They weave through cars. It's really not safe, but sometimes you need to get to where you're going, and those Okadas will literally cut your commute in half. I'm, jumping in, I'm eating with my hands, the pepper soup is hitting, I'm hopping on these Okadas. You really can't tell me nothing. So I'm 1 month in, and your girl loves Lagos.